Hey folks, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you all are having a great time zone. As for me, I've been kind of low energy all day, so we'll see how this stream goes. For me, it's night, so we'll see how tonight goes. I was reviewing the VOD from Tuesday, and there are some things that I noticed that I was like, oh, what if I did this differently? Or, oh, I completely missed or ignored the bright shining light indicating where the cache was that Wrath had directed me to. Maybe I should go check that out and get a better reward. Or different things like that. I want to respec my Bard, and I think I also want to respec Shadowheart. So the the title for this stream is I tie you. Wait, that's not right. Wink. The tying refers to tying up some loose ends that I've noticed before we go on to do some other stuff that I want to do before we go into the Underdark. I'm actually not familiar with Baldur's Gate at all. This game is my entire experience of Baldur's Gate. So I think of like this area that we've been exploring, and I'm like, wait, Baldur's Gate is a city? What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Baldur's Gate is a bunch of tiefling refugees and like our campsite and like yelling at Astarion. Speaking of Starry Eyes, I just want to clarify, because I kind of overreacted a bit to him during Tuesday's stream when he clarified that he wanted to have sex, but not with me. I appreciated his clear communication. That is very important. And I respect his boundaries. That is also very important. It's the way he said it. The expression of disgust. That is what I took offense to. And yes, I overreacted a bit. So for that, I apologize. So yeah, I felt the need to say something about that. I don't know if talking to him right now is going to be worth it. I probably will do my usual rounds talking to everybody. And we can start with him. And I guess we might as well do that now since I'm currently just standing here staring at him awkwardly. Anyway.
Yes?
Yeah, I had a feeling that's how that conversation would go. Same.
Speak.
And that's basically how that conversation always goes. I think we already dealt with this one.
Oakfather's blessings to you.
Thank you. Oh, there's quite a bit that we can talk about here. Alright, from the top. I have to ask, how do you know so much about the parasite?
I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say.
And it didn't try to crawl into your eye. Interesting. This shadow curse you spoke of, surely it can't be that bad.
It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise, but the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better.
It'll be Fine. What about this secret stronghold in the Underdark? You must know more.
Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found.
Why do you want to go to Moonrise Towers?
Those illithid creatures threaten the natural order. It's my duty to do what I can to stop them. There's also the Shadow Curse. It's an affront and must be cleansed. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse, just as you find a cure for your infection.
It seems like you feel responsible for the curse somehow.
Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source.
Do you know how it can be stopped?
Perhaps, but we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said.
All right. At the celebration with the tieflings before, I hope I didn't come over too strong. Got caught up in the moment.
There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside. You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same.
You'd have done the same?
Perhaps. But best to not dwell on nights past. There are plenty more yet to come.
Okay, great. And how are you faring out here at the camp?
With such stimulating company? Never better.
I love that line. I would have asked that last line, but I think it's pretty clear, so I could ask it just to get it out of there, but we'll do that later if it keeps coming up. Will.
Well met.
You mean Wilmette? Haha. I know that was really bad. My apologies.
I do enjoy our conversations. What do you need?
I never realized it was so easy to cast magic. I breathe it. I live it. I play it. Like, I don't understand this one for Bard. So, what did you think about what I pictured when we were connected by the weave?
Oh, I was surprised. But pleasantly so. Just like I said, amid the madness that has befallen us, it seems almost out of place to think of a romantic walk. And yet, now more than ever, it's important to recall what makes us human. Well, you know what I mean. A stolen glance, that sudden heartbeat. Sometimes the little things are worth more than kingdoms. They promise things to come.
You see, I would reword it in a way that I feel makes more sense for my character, but then what he says might not make as much sense. So this is me overthinking things, and it'll give me just 1 second. Sure.
I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Yet it is life's most worthy pursuit in my impartial, if not humble opinion.
He's such a nerd. I want to kind of scratch his head. And play with his... Oh god, okay, I will stop. Stop. Buttons, what are you doing? Bad buttons. I have too much random crap in my inventory. What is all this? Yeah, I can give the Amulet of Selûne's Chosen to him.
Tell me, what can I do for you?
I think I have a magical artifact you'll be interested in.
Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging. But it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer.
Okay, so you don't want it right now. That works. I like that you can just like go over here and look out and be like, ah, that's peaceful. Oh, Withers. I need to talk to you in a minute, but I want to finish making my rounds. Okay, I talked to all of you guys.
Hey, soldier.
Hey, Karlak. Oh, there's a thing I want to try. So I was watching some videos where they were talking to the voice actors for the various characters. And the voice actor for Karlak talked about various things people have done to try to be able to touch Karlak safely. And they talked about like throwing ice at her and stuff. But nobody mentioned drinking a elixir of fire resistance. So I'm curious, if I like drink an elixir of fire resistance in front of her and then talk to her, if that will have any influence whatsoever. Something tells me the answer probably is no, but I'm curious. I feel like it should be a thing.
Hey, soldier.
I drank fire resistance for you. Maybe I need her in my party?
You know I'm up for it, but your party's a little full.
You know what? You can take Starry Eye's place.
Now we're talking. Copper for your thoughts?
I would really like to try hugging you. Is it because I'm wearing clothes and you're worried about them burning off? I mean, I can take them off. That might send the wrong message. But really, I'm just trying to satisfy your need for a hug. This is purely platonic, I promise you. Let's see. Well, maybe when we leave camp. Oh, I probably shouldn't do anything I need to save, though. Not that fire resistance is necessarily a bad idea, but this does cost resources.
Soldier?
She has an exclamation mark over her head, but let me try talking to Karlak again.
Hey, soldier.
Hey, Karlak. I still can't try and hug you. I want to hug you. Hug. Hug, hug, hug. Hug. Running glomp attack! Hug! Anyway, sorry. Alright, let's reload that save. I don't want to waste a, elixir of fire resistance. Even though the reason why I got it, I can't even try. I can't wait for my mod playthrough. You might be like, Buttons, you have mods, what the fuck? My only mods are button skins. I don't know if you heard, I literally slapped my palm against my forehead. Dice skins. Well, you're probably not going to say it now, but I acknowledge that you had an exclamation mark when we left camp.
Shah's blessings upon you.
Oh. Okay, we have quite a bit to talk about here. Sure, from the top. Good morning. Tell me about the Mother Superior.
I'm not sure what else I can say, at least until I can remember more. She taught me, trained me, punished me. Often, I think I feel her influence when the wound pains me. Not even memories, just glimpses, impressions. Perhaps the wound is her doing, something Lady Shah bid her to do. I don't know.
You seemed intrigued when Halsin mentioned Dark Justiciars before, as opposed to Dark Justiciars. I don't know, people who go after dust bunnies.
I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharan presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence.
That is pretty interesting. So she's a Shar worshipper. She was sent on a mission. She has an artifact that protects us from the cult's influence. The influence of the Absolute. And now we're dealing with the influence of this dude who's responsible for this shadow curse around the area where we need to go to try and undermine the tadpole's powers, and she needs to get that artifact to Baldur's Gate. I think we already talked about all that's happened to us. I'm curious if she has anything new to say about the Illithid powers. Somehow I doubt it, but I'm curious.
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from, and what lies at the end of that path. I never expected Ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
And you know what? I respect that.
It's been known to happen.
Alright, I think that means I've talked to everybody. Oh, wait. Hold on. Patch! Patch! The most important conversation. At the end of the day, no matter how bad things seem to get, we have a pupper who we can pet whenever we're in camp. And that means we've already won the game.
Fate spins along as it should.
Dost thou require a new ally?
Or mayhaps a resurrection instead.
Can you help me change my class?
As thou desire.
Okay, I don't actually want to change my class. I want to remain a bard. And I really hope I will remember my stuff, because I don't want to have to hem and haw about decisions. But we're gonna stick with bard. We're gonna be level 1 again. Let's see. Level 1 cantrips. Vicious Mockery. I don't know if I've really even been using that, but what would I rather have? I almost kind of feel like friends would be more useful. Not that I necessarily need it, but it could be kind of nice. As the face of the party, I think having friends as a cantrip is very useful, and I'm thinking illusion might actually be kind of nice. Create a distraction, basically. Sometimes I want to be the distraction, but sometimes I need to put the distraction somewhere else. Spells. I need to decide which ones I know. So if I don't know it, I won't have access to it. Oh, these are all the ones that I picked before, actually. I don't have to worry about that. Excellent. Well, this doesn't really matter that much because I've already been using my... Okay, yeah, so this can just stay as it is. This, I think, stays as it is, yes. All this basically just stays as it is. I'm curious about something. Deception and Persuasion were already getting a +4. So that thing that I took that was supposed to double my proficiency bonus wasn't actually doing anything. So I'm glad I'm doing this so that I can take another feat that's going to benefit me more. And that says Tav, it's wrong, but I think it should still have my name as Ravi. Yeah, it still has my name correct. I don't know why it changes it on that screen, but it should be fine. So let's level me up again. Level up. New spell. I get to select another spell. And I think I'm kind of tempted to go with Fairy Fire. That seems like a really nice support spell. I think I was gonna go with Longstrider. I think that's what I went with before and never used it. I love it, but I always forget to use it. And I very often wish that I could see enemies more easily and the attack rolls against them having advantage would be great to help my party members. So maybe I'll try that. And if I change my mind, I'm pretty sure that being able to swap out spells, I don't want to know this spell anymore, I want to learn a different one, is a thing. There we go. Right there. Replace spell. Specialization, baby! Woohoo! Alright, now I get another spell. Oh, all the spells! All the spells, all the spells. What spell do I want? Cloud of Daggers was pretty nice. I think it worked well. in the battle against Straw Ragnan. The radius for it is a lot smaller than I had hoped, but I'll keep it in there as a possibility. Oh, Calm Emotions is... The only time I used it, I didn't actually need it. Hold Person is pretty effing devastating. Invisibility, holy fuck on a stick. Invisibility is so tempting, especially after what we went through trying to escape from Goblin Land. Especially since, I don't know if Disguise Self is actually that useful as a disguise, or if it's basically just for fun. That's something I'd like to learn about, like how to use it effectively. So okay, buttons, focus. What's actually going to be useful? It doesn't have to be in combat. It can be in combat, but it doesn't have to be. Keeping in mind that I am a bard. What's 5 temporary hit points each turn? Do they stack? I'm gonna try invisibility and see how that goes. Although... maybe that would be something better to go with for someone who has prepared spells. I could turn it off and on. And I mean, I'm a bard. I don't want to be invisible. Making somebody else invisible, maybe. I guess Enthrall would kind of make you the distraction. I'm thinking Hold Person. This is something that I'm very curious about. College of Glamour is the new subclass for bards that came out with patch 8. You mastered your craft under the tutelage of fey creatures whose captivating magic swirls within you, ready to be released. You acquire the following: Mantle of Inspiration, which is an action. Imbue 2 allies with your vigor and grant them 5 temporary hit points. If they're hit with melee attack, the attacker becomes charmed. Oh, interesting. I like that. As opposed to, I've been using the College of Valor. Oops. I haven't been using the martial weapon proficiency, I don't think. I was wearing medium armor for a while, but I swapped it out for proper bard attire. I haven't been bothering with the shield, and combat inspiration hasn't really been working the way I would like. Oh, it does get added to attack rolls, but for some reason I feel like it hasn't been getting used. So I don't know, I feel like sorry, combat inspiration hasn't been working properly. Unless there's bardic inspiration and combat inspiration, and I've been using the wrong one during combat. So I'm seriously thinking of switching to the College of Glamour or possibly the College of Swords. 'Cause I do tend to use my sword a lot. So being able to attack up to 2 enemies at once would be really nice. These defensive things would be nice. Hey Azompug, welcome. How's it going? All this kind of sword play stuff is kind of nice. And then there's a passive fighting style. Craft under the tutelage of fey creatures. I feel like that would work really well if I were more naturey. I don't know how much. I guess that could work. I mean, I have the fairy light as one of my spells. I'm overthinking this. I do that a lot. So, okay. So, do I pick the thing that works with the way I've been playing, which is I have been playing a lot with my sword. Have fun with that one. Or do I go more with flavor? Let's go with this one. College of Swords. Ooh. So I can go with dueling. When you are wielding a melee weapon that is not two-handed in one hand and no weapon in the other, you deal an additional 2 damage with that weapon. You can carry a shield in your free hand and still gain this bonus. Or 2 weapon fighting. When you make an attack with your offhand weapon, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. Does your torch count as a weapon? I think the way I tend to go is more dueling. You know what? The torch comes out when I specify that I want my light source. I'll see if it comes out just when I pull out my sword. Like, actually, yeah, if I'm just making an attack, I think usually the sword is not out. So I'll go with dueling. Okay. So, skill expertise. Skill expertise. Okay, yeah, I already have expertise in deception and performance. So I guess I was trying to duplicate having expertise and you could only have it once. I don't want to replace any spells. Bard level 4. New feat available. I got a new cantrip, yay! Ooh, so do I want Vicious Mockery after all? Just being able to do that extra little tap for damage or giving disadvantage can be kind of nice. I'm probably not going to bother with Blade Ward. I'm not quite sure how to use Mage Hand. Gaining advantage on your next attack roll is actually really nice. Illuminating an area could be nice, but I'm pretty sure I have other ways of accessing it. And same kind of idea with light. Can I change this later without having to go through all of this? I don't know. I don't know is the thing. You know what? I'm gonna go with Vicious Mockery is basically like the bard thing, right? And it's the thing I started out with, so I'm gonna go with that. Oh no, I get another another spell. I guess I should be happy about that. I want us to make sure I have a spell that I need to concentrate on that I can let go of. And a hold person I probably want to hold on to as long as possible. Cloud of Daggers, once the targets die, there's no point in maintaining my concentration, so I can release it. Calm Emotions is also kind of nice. I think maybe I will go with the daggers after all. I don't know, because if I'm holding a person, then I can't do the daggers. I can change it later. Oh boy. This. Oh, you can't go wrong with ability improvement. I can bring my charisma up to 18 and I think I need dex for my weapon ability. Ranged and finesse. Strength is melee weapons. Maybe I want to improve my strength if I'm using swords so much. Actually, will raising my strength to 9 be enough to get that to be 0 instead of -1? if I do this... I'm just curious. No, it's still -1. Okay. This is the one, actor, is what I had picked before, and it didn't work properly. Dungeon Delver seems like a very good idea. I almost kind of feel like Magic Initiate Wizard would be appropriate since I had that magic lesson from Gale. Having like every cantrip at my disposal is kind of tempting. And it's the closest I can come to multiclassing. Warcaster would be really nice. One, to maintain concentration on the spell, which is just generally very useful, and also enables me to be more likely to get to use my ability that I spent a slug on. Worm, tadpole, whatever you want to call them. And then the Shocking Grasp at a target moving out of melee range. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, if I use my reaction to that, then I don't have it free for other stuff. But then, I don't know, because if they're moving out of melee range, I could do an attack of opportunity, but if I'd be doing that with my melee weapon and my strength is 8, I have less chance to hit than casting Shocking Grasp would probably use my intelligence, which is much better. It gets a +1 instead of a -1. So I think Warcaster would probably be pretty good out of all these options, considering Actor didn't have the effect that I wanted. And I'm still amused by having Star notice all of the traps. Like, Star, you go first. There's a trap there, there's a trap there, there's a trap there. You are standing right next to a trap. There's a trap. I'm curious if this could apply to psychic damage. Nope. Okay. Alright, let's go with Warcaster. So we have advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. And we can use a reaction to cast Shocking Grasp at a target moving out of melee range. And we can redo this. I know you all will be very happy to have me redo that on stream. Do I have a better sword I could be using? What is this? This is... oh, that does count as a finesse weapon. The short sword is a finesse weapon. I didn't realize that. I was ignoring all the things that said finesse weapon. My bad. This rapier is for Will, actually. I think he can still make that his bound weapon or whatever. I hope. Oh, I'm not oops, I'm not proficient with this. I can't use this. Why did I think I could? I might need to reconsider my life choices. Alright, for now, I'm just gonna put that in camp. I have a stupid amount of boots that I don't know what I'm doing. What even is Wrath? +1 bonus to damage with melee weapons for every turn this condition has remaining. Ooh. Oh, I need a better sword. That's right. I want to stick with something that lets me have my light source out at the same time. So I can have the sword and the torch out simultaneously. See, it has to be just holding the sword. It's so small compared to the rest of me. I love it. But yeah, if I'm gonna do this, I need a proper sword. I want to get at least a +1. Or, actually, hold on a second. Let me look and see what we already have in camp. I seem to remember getting something that was basically a +1 sword. No? This wouldn't eat something, right? Then what did I do with that? Because I don't think I would have sold it. Oh, you're using it. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. Well, not in that regard at least. Okay, great. I think I've done everything I need to do here then. Oh no.
I wonder what the next move is.
I need to respec her too.
Another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. As thou desire.
You see, for most clerics, I would go with Sacred Flame. But considering she's all about the darkness, I find it kind of difficult to imagine her going for flame-like radiance, which I imagine would shed light. So, I'm kind of leaning a bit more toward Toll the Dead, which is one of my favorites of the new cantrips. No, definitely not replacing resistance with that though. This is what I wanted to change. I'm going to take Frosty's suggestion and move away from the trickery domain. I think the war domain fits a lot better with her interest in becoming a dark justiciar, and also kind of how I tend to use her in combat and whatnot, and just I'm not going to think too much about how that morning star is right up against her back. That looks very painful. Anyway, let's move on. So she's gonna go with War Domain. Good with that. Good with that. Good with that. Now we get to level her up. Okay, prepared spells, inflict wounds, guiding bolt, protection from good and evil, healing ward, and cure wounds. Instead of protection from good and evil, I'm thinking maybe command, bless. I really like bless. Bless. Okay. Accept. Woo! Lots of options. Prepared spells. I love this. Prepared spells are so much easier. I could give her calm emotions. That lasts for 10 turns. Honestly, I'm thinking... Well, actually, she can turn this on when we're outside of combat. During combat, something like aid or I could see lesser restoration being helpful. You know what? I've seen how devastating silence can be. And also, I think it could kind of work well with Char. So I'm gonna try that one. And with it being a prepared spell, I can always swap it out. Beats drive me nuts. Alright, cantrip. cantrip. I don't know. Do we think she'd be the type to do this? Bursting sinew. Necromancy cantrip. Explode a corpse, causing it to impale those around it. Feats. Don't get me wrong. I love feats. I think they're great. It's just choosing one from this list. There's so many good choices. I have trouble selecting just one. I'm gonna raise her con and her wisdom. There we go. So she'll have a +2 to con rolls and a +4 to wisdom rolls. And then prepared spells, she gets another slot or another spell that she can have prepared. Do I want this one? There have been times when I've wished I had Sanctuary. You or an ally cannot be targeted until you attack or harm a creature. Until you attack or harm a creature. Okay. Until the affected entity attacks or harms another creature, it cannot be targeted by enemy effects. Oh, okay. This wording is a little bit confusing. Alright.
Still breathing, despite everything.
That only took a million years. Okay, I did not make a list, but if I had made a list, item number 1 would be checked off, and that is to respec those 2 characters. Patch is up on the rock. I think that's everything in camp right now.